Hello students, today we'll discuss about the chapter Microorganism Plan and 4, part 4. In our previous classes we have discussed about the usefulness of microorganism in domestic, industrial, medicinal field. Today we will discuss the useful microorganism in environment, in soil, in cleaning environment, etc. So let's start with the soil fertility, how it is important. Nowadays, we are focusing on organic farming. What is this organic farming? The using the fertilizers which are made from the organic materials, like the debris of plants and animals, their byproducts. These are used to make the fertilizers and termed as biofertilizer. Why we are focusing on, we are just being eco-friendly nowadays? Because in early years, previous years, we had used so many chemical fertilizers which were, even they gave a very fast result, and we got, even you can say that it helped, these chemical fertilizer helped us to just fighting against lots of hungers. But there is the long, or you can say long term bad consequences, that these chemical fertilizers are adversely affecting our environment. They are becoming as a toxicants for plants, for aquatic animals, creating the soil, water, and even the air pollution. So we are trying to minimize the use of chemical fertilizers by moving toward the organic fertilizers. And in this field of organic fertilizers, which is mainly rely upon the biofertilizers, the microorganisms plays a very important role. Okay, so what is my main motto if I am discussing about the soil fertility? Soil fertility. We should focus on organic farming, which can be achieved by biofertilizers. Biofertilizers. And today we will just Today we will focus on how the biofertilizers can be made by the microorganisms. Okay. So in this field there is a term you have listened about, the nitrogen fixation or nitrogen cycle. If you have idea about this, then it is very okay. But here I will just tell you about its concept. About the nitrogen cycle and nitrogen fixation we will discuss in our other classes, to just avoid to being it more lengthy. What is the concept of nitrogen fixation? In air there is approximately 75% of nitrogen, which is free nitrogen, but these nitrogen cannot be used by plant as it is. And at the same time, this nitrogen is very important. You can say chemical or the element. It is very important element for the all biological processes. Then the question comes, how the plant will get this nitrogen? They take nitrogen in the combined form, which is the oxides of nitrogen, that is nitrate. These nitrate from the nitrogen, free nitrogen, has to be converted with the help of, you can say, natural phenomena. Either it can be lightning, either it can be, you can say, industrial phenomena, And a very important there, this fixation of the nitrogen means the free nitrogen is converted into the nitrate form or oxides of nitrogen with the help of some microorganism, and these are known as the nitrogen fixers. Okay, and you can see that how they are playing important role. And this, so let's see what is the nitrogen fixation. Free nitrogen is converted into oxides, nitrogen oxides. Okay, it can be NO2 and NO3. This NO3 is used by plant. This process is known as nitrogen fixation. It can be by natural phenomena like lightning, and at the same time this can be by industrial processes, or you can say the by human activity. Okay, and the very important, the last one, it can be achieved by microorganisms, bacteria, microorganisms, or the living organisms. And these microorganisms are called nitrogen fixers, as they are fixing the free nitrogen in the combined form. Nitrogen fixers. And the fixation or the nitrogen fixation with the help of living organism or microorganism is termed as biological nitrogen fixation. Biological nitrogen fixation. You have idea why it is done? Because plant can't take this nitrogen in the free form. They take it in nitrate form. This nitrate can be fixed, or this nitrogen can be fixed in form of nitrate by these processes. And here the role of biological nitrogen fixation is very important. So now let's see which what are those microorganisms which help in biological or help in nitrogen fixation. So there are many categories of these. First it is bacteria. You have listened about rhizobium. It shows the symbiotic association with leguminous plant. Okay, it gets shelter in the root nodule of leguminous plant. Here it gets shelter, and so it is the benefit which it is getting. At the same time, this leguminous plant get nitrogen fixed or NO3 from this nitrogen, means they fix nitrogen for them. Okay, so it is known as symbiotic. Symbiotic association means the close association of two type of organism in which both are beneficial for each other. It is known as symbiotic association. So it is your bacteria, you can say, which help in nitrogen fixation. First it was. Okay. Then let's see some other bacteria. The free living bacteria. The second one I am writing here, that is the free living bacteria. Okay, these are very important bacteria. That is Azospirillum, Azotobacter. They fix nitrogen and they are free living. They don't have any association with other plant. Then we come to the cyanobacteria. These we called as the blue-green algae. They also help in nitrogen fixation, and these are very important names. That is Anabina, Nostoc, Oscillatoria, and I tell you, in paddy field, they play a very important role to fix nitrogen. They play a major role to fix nitrogen. Then one very important, that is a mycorrhiza, in which the Your tree is having the symbiotic association with the fungi. Okay, so what is here? The fungi is very important of the genus, that is Glomus. Okay, I am not saying that they fix nitrogen, but they absorb phosphorus for the plant. Can you see this? How important it is? Not only fixing the nitrogen, they are playing a very important role as they are absorbing phosphorus for the plant from the soil. And this, as they are absorbing, so this help to increase the resistance power, or the plant become resistant for many pests, and you can say many insects, and also the physical adversity. Okay, so here you can say that how these microorganisms are playing important role in soil fertility. Now let's see, I hope this all is clear to you. Now let's see how these microorganisms are playing important role in environment. You have seen when you have kept some organic material, your debris or your, you can say, garbage, having the peels of vegetables and fruits and some other debris which is organic. If you kept it outside, after you can say 4 to 5 days, you will observe that there is nothing left, or if there is something left, it is very less in amount. Where does it just go? It is going under the process of decay. Okay, so all this decay is done by the saprophytes, those organisms which depends upon the dead and decaying material for their nutrients or for their nutrition are called the saprophyte. These saprophyte are mainly these are the microorganisms and bacteria, fungi. They just decompose all these organic material into the, you will see they comes into a form of compost. So this composting is done by them. So at the same time they are cleaning the environment, they are also producing the compost, for as this compost is useful fertilizer or biofertilizer. So and this technique that these bacteria eats upon the organic material, we are using in many fields, and the most important field is your sewage treatment plant. Okay, what is this sewage? Sewage is that water which is having so much of highly polluted water, having major quantity of human excreta. It is highly poisonous, highly pathogenic. If we discharge this water directly into the water body like river, then what will happen? Our river will get very easily polluted. So to avoid the water pollution and our environment, to make it clean, it is very important that these municipal water, which is your sewage water, should be go under treatment at first, and then it will discharge to the water bodies like river. So the treatment of this sewage water is done under the or in the sewage treatment plant, that is known as STP. Here the role of these microorganisms are very important. Let's see how this STP works actually. Okay. What happens if, just wait. So I'm just listing this. They are these microorganisms in cleaning environment. They are used in farming manure by composting. Here the role of saprophyte is very important, as they play important role in by eating upon and getting nutrition upon the dead and decaying organic materials. So indirectly they clean the environment. And the very important role of microorganism in STP, that is your sewage treatment plant, Let's see in detail. What is this sewage? Sewage, it is your waste water. Okay, it is your waste water. Waste water having the mainly your human excreta, and this water is harmful, very harmful it is. Very harmful, pathogenic, and having so much of toxic substances. Okay, if we discharge directly into the water body, directly discharge into water body, what will happen? Water bodies. Can you imagine the water will be highly polluted within a short time? Highly polluted. So we never do this. Okay. So the waste water before discharging in the water bodies like river will undergo particular treatment that is known as your STP, sewage treatment plant. This sewage treatment plant is done at two levels. At first, there is a physical. First, it is a primary treatment in which the physical treatment occurs. What we do here, we do the filtration, and this filtration is not at once, it is sequential filtration. Means many times we do it, and with the help of a strainer having different size. So it is the sequential filtration. Plus we do the sedimentation. Due to this filtration, sequential filtration, what happened? Whatever the large floating bodies, it will be trapped here. So the floating debris will be trapped in your filter. Then by the process of sedimentation, the grit, that you can say the solid materials will be just settled down. So that is the grit removal. Okay. Then what after this, we are removing this one and this one. Then what is left is known as the supernatant. This supernatant will undergo the secondary treatment. And this secondary treatment is actually, here it was physical, no use of microorganism, but the main and most important treatment, which is a secondary treatment, here it is also known as biological treatment, because there is a role of microorganism. Okay, and you will see that there is a major role of microorganism. So I am continuing this from the top. Let me erase it. Supernatant. We will provide you will see that vigorous agitation with the help of agitator, and at the same time air will pumped in. Okay, and will add the you will see the microorganisms which you will see works on a respire in the air, means aerobic bacteria. And due to this air and agitation, they will grow vigorously. This microorganism growth will take place. Vigorous growth of microorganism. Why does it happen? Because there are so much of organic material present on which they start feeding and reproducing, and as a result there is a vigorous growth of these microorganisms, which is known as flock. Flock is nothing, bacteria plus you will see the filaments of fungi. they just form a mesh-like structure, and they float on this whole system. So we will take this, okay. Then this vigorous growth will take place as a result of growth of this microorganism BOD, that is the biological oxygen demand. Biological oxygen demand, it reduces. It will reduce, and this BOD reduce significantly. And then what we will do? This will undergo the sedimentation. And this I think you are getting these microorganisms are aerobic microorganisms. Now, and at the second stage, it is clear to you. At first, we had filtered physically in the primary treatment. Then it will go under the secondary treatment, where the biological treatment will happen or will occur. And at first, we are introducing air along with those microorganisms which respire aerobically, so that there is a growth of these microorganisms. As a result of their growth, the BOD decrease so much. And when there is significant reduction of this BOD, what will do? This whole system will just get under it will get under the sedimentation, and this flock we will accumulate. After this sedimentation, the sediment what we are getting means the things which are left, because we had removed the whole flock and the sediment. This sediment is known as activated sludge. Okay. And plus, what will do, this flock we will use as a small amount of this, or not only actually this activated sludge, the whole activated sludge will go under a large tank. At the same time, as this activated sludge is having some amount of this flock, so we will keep, although we are just putting whole activated sludge in the last tank, but keeping this small amount of sludge as inoculum, which we will send here, okay, when it is required. Now let's see what will happen in this large tank. Now we will just supply the anaerobic bacteria. Aerobic bacteria means those bacteria in which anaerobic respiration takes place. And what will happen is they will eat the whole, or they will digest the whole activated sludge, and they produce mainly the methane gas. And we can use this methane gas as biogas in producing light, and in cooking also we use it. So you are just watching that how this microorganisms are useful in treating, or they are saving our environment. They are producing the energy in light, in form of light in cooking, and at the same time this activated sludge and these flocks are just working as biofertilizers. So how the whole microorganism, even we can't see them with our naked eye, but they are playing a very important role in our life. So it was, and that effluent we will use in as the, after this the effluent will work, this aerobic bacteria will work on this gas will produce, and the effluent we will use as biofertilizers. So it was the whole story of STP. By the using of this technology of STP, we can start our GAP program, that was the Ganga Action Plan. It started in 1986, and at the same time that was the YAP, Yamuna Action Plan. By using this technology, we are able to clean these rivers by setting or planting these at some regular distances, so that the direct discharge of these water is prohibited. Now let's see the second use or the next use of our microorganism. So I have discussed about the biogas, how we are using these microorganisms in producing biogas, which is mainly the methane, CH4, methane, and the bacteria used to produce it is mainly known as the bacteria which produce methane gas is known as methanogen. Gen means producing methane. So the bacteria which produce methanogen. Example of this is methanobacteria. It is easy to remember you. Okay. And this methane gas is your biogas. Okay. And please note down, in case of LPG there is butane, but in case of biogas it is methane. This biogas we use in cooking as well as in lighting. And this biogas plant, that is also known as gobar gas plant. Okay. As mainly it is having the excreta of the cattle and their byproducts also. This technology was developed in India by the, you can say, by associated work of IARI, that is Indian Agriculture Research Institute plus KVIC. What is this? Khadi and Village Industry. They work together and develop this technology. And one more thing I should tell you, that these methanogen bacteria works on cellulose and help in digestion of cellulose. Now you can just guess that they will present in all the herbivorous or ruminating animals. Rumen of all herbivores or ruminating animals. What are these animals? The animals who used to continuously, you have seen so many herbivores, they are cud chewing. They eat so much of straw or grasses, and after eating they just these straw or grasses will come back to their mouth. They continuously chew it. That process is known as cud chewing, because this whole grasses are stored in a particular chamber that is known as rumen, where this methanogen present and help in digestion of this cellulose. So it was again one of the very important role of microorganism. So now let's see a last and very important topic, that how the microorganisms plays a major and very important role in biological control. What is this biological control? For just take an example, suppose if we have problem with some insect on the plant, we have some crop on which we are getting that these insects are harming that plant. What we do, we spray some chemical on that and all the insects used to die. At the same time, this chemical also hamper our plant, our soil, our water, as well as the whole environment. So indirectly, although we are getting the very short term positive effect of this chemical, but the long term consequence is very bad. Okay, so to avoid it, there is a very good technique in which we can use the biological agent or the agent which help in the biological control. So I will give you some example. Let me just do this. Microorganism in biological control. Very important topic it is, biological control. Okay. So this mainly rely on the natural balance. So let me give you examples so that this will be clear to you. Suppose it is a crop. It is going to be badly affected by one of the insect known as, or you call it butterfly. Okay. What we do, there is a bacteria, that microorganism, its name is Bacillus thuringiensis. Thuringiensis. From the B and T, in short, we call it BT. Okay. We get its spore in market in dried form, spores, dried spores. Okay. From market we get it. Then we add water in this and spray on the crop. Clear? Now what will happen when the insect will eat this crop? They will eat this spore also. Clear? And the larva of this insect actually. Okay. Then the larva, when this spore will reach in the gut of the larva, will release a poison or toxin, it will release, so that this larva will not able to respire. Okay, and it will die. Now you can see that this is a spore. It is a biological agent or it is a microorganism. It is very specific. It will not hamper your crop, but when the insect will eat this crop, this spore will go into its gut, and its gut will just choke because of release of poison or toxin, and it will not able to respire, and finally that larva will die. So it was one of the use of the microorganism. Now let me explain the second one. So one thing I just forget to tell you, nowadays we are using this Bacillus thuringiensis in genetic engineering, and we are producing some crops having inbuilt this spores of Bacillus thuringiensis, or the not the spores, the toxin. These are like BT cotton. BT brinjal is also nowadays in market available. So, and the second use of microorganism is trichoderma. Trichoderma. It is a fungi. It helps to control many pathogens which are affecting our plants. So it control the plant pathogen. Okay, I'm not telling the species because it will be difficult to learn you. Then the third one, our virus, that is baculovirus. It is very important. Baculovirus. It is insect. It is having the capacity or the potential as an insecticidal. If I am saying that insecticide, pesticide, side means the killing. For example, very easy, you will say homicide means the human killing, suicide the self killing. If we are using this side, CID word, means the killing. Here it is insecticide, means this will act to kill the insect. So it was all about the biological control, how one organism control the growth of the another organism. So I hope it was the full story of, at your level, it was a full story of microorganisms, how they are proved to be as our friend in form of their uses in different aspects of life. Hopefully it will help you to study the microorganism. Thank you very much.